Very.
It's because a lot of money is being spent and just your thoughts.
Here's what I'm going to say, and this is point blank. This is point blank because here's my problem. There is no $30 million fund. There is no $5 million. There is no 10. This is garbage, okay? And it pisses me off that people, and here it comes from a site called Bro Bible by a guy named Sliced Bread. Then everybody runs with it. So it's written on the internet as gospel.
Oh, Jimbo Fisher right there. Nick Andrews. Interesting to see your daily sports podcast news, narratives, takes, and gambling, of course. It's Monday, the Monday before the Super Bowl. One day, this will fall on President's Day. That's the goal of the National Football League. There will be 18 regular season games, and the Super Bowl Monday will be on President's Day. But it is not this day. Got some controversy to talk about. Got some Super Bowl props. We're going to go down props each day of the week. The big gambling preview will be Thursday. It is far too late to take advantage of market inefficiencies right now. So we're just going to do our best to keep up. But the big news that everyone's going to be waking up to in the sports world will be, of course, the Canadian-Russian women's hockey situation. Just kidding, it's not. But we will get to that. It is funny and sad and weird. Is it sad and weird? I don't know. Maybe it's just funny. So let's start with all of the funny stuff first. I guess we could talk about Alvin Kamara in a bit. He was arrested in Vegas. We'll get into that. But let's start with some funny, interesting things. Yesterday, the Pro Bowl was played, and no one cared, shockingly. And it was absolute garbage. We've got some highlights of the Pro Bowl being played, and I'll be honest with you, calling this football is fascinating. I think they were literally playing two-hand touch. I could be incorrect. We're going to play it on YouTube. I don't want there to be sound. There goes the sound. Watch these people. There goes Alvin Kamara, and he's touched, and he is touched before the first down, it's just interesting because, like, there's so much money at stake, and there's so much pride and whatnot at stake for these athletes that there's just no chance that they're going to injure themselves. Joey Bosa is a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's never went once because of injury. These All-Star games are dumb. They are dumb. It's a fact. I think baseball is the most interesting thing. I think they should just do a series, and the World Series thing I think is fun, but no one cares about this. It is a big deal to go. It's still a big deal to be named a Pro Bowler. The Pro Bowl is what's dumb. The bonuses need to be in the millions for these guys. Otherwise, they're just not going to do it. But for guys, who haven't got a thing, their Wikipedia page now says Pro Bowler. Everything says Pro Bowler. All their agent can say, like, this is a Pro Bowl guy. That's a big deal to a lot of these guys, even the alternates that get tapped. So it'll continue to be a big deal. Yesterday, NASCAR was in a college football stadium and other stadium, the LA Coliseum, which is where the USC Trojans and other teams do stuff. They put a NASCAR track in there because they thought it'd be funny. It's like Hot Wheels. It is funny. It is funny. I think I've got a picture here from college football Reddit. There it is. Just kind of silly and fun. It was a big success. Everybody liked it. Joey Logano won, which I don't know what that means. It was just kind of an exhibition fun thing. Daytona 500 coming up soon. It's usually a week or two after the Super Bowl, if memory serves, which should be fun. Let's get to this Russia-Canadian hockey thing. So, the Russia Olympic Committee, or I'm going to call them the crew, the ROC, which is a cool abbreviation, they didn't get all of their COVID tests back before the game against Canada. So Canada played in masks, and then Russia got their COVID tests back halfway through the game, so they took their masks off. There were good players from both teams that couldn't play, and I've got this quote from the Wall Street Journal from Russian lawmaker, which calling her a lawmaker is funny, Svetlana Zhirova, that says, quote, "The situation, of course, is absolutely absurd. It is impossible to play hockey in masks." I played hockey in masks. Not in the Olympics. But I perhaps could have. Canada won 6-1. So at the intermission of the second period, the Canadian women kept their masks on while the Russians took theirs off. And the game was delayed for an hour because Canada didn't want to be on the ice with these women who hadn't tested positive. Now, I want to be very clear about this. They don't care. Most of these young women and most athletes in the world don't care about being positive for COVID, but they're in China. And China cares a lot. Like, they care a lot. You'll be stuck there, perhaps for months. They're building walls to keep people in and people out. They care a lot. So being positive in China is not a good situation. So it's a bit of a farce. It kind of just highlights how people have been handling or not paying attention to the pandemic at all. You can read more about this story if you so choose. It is behind a paywall, of course. Rock in Canada stage pandemic tragic comedy. Who wrote this? Lane Higgins and Georgie Kenchev. So that's nice of them. Let's get to this Alvin Kamara thing before we address the Jimbo Fisher stuff. We can get to golf here in a moment, too. So Alvin Kamara was arrested in Las Vegas. A person was in the hospital with serious injuries and told local police that it was Alvin Kamara that beat him up at a Las Vegas nightclub. The arrest happened at 5:50 p.m. Alvin Kamara was arrested for battery with substantial injury, which is a really serious thing. I don't know that much about the victim, but I do know that's like hospitalized with serious injuries. Not a critical condition. I don't think we have a critical condition update as far as I know. The entire statement reads as follows. The victim was being battered at a nightclub on the 3500 block of South Las Vegas Boulevard. And let's see, what else do we have here? The investigation is ongoing. This is a serious thing. I mean, this is kind of like don't go back in the NFL kind of thing. If this is proven, if the charges aren't dropped, which Alvin, of course, can pay this person off to drop the charges. That happens a lot with rich people. We'll see what happens. Coaching news in the National Football League. Mike McDonald was hired as the allegedly, well, he has been hired. It's been announced. The press conference should be today as the Miami Dolphins head coach, and apparently he's going to bring Vic Fangio with him. Let's check in with Mike McDonald and see just how effing funny that guy is. We all love Mike McDonald.
Good to be here. Equally excited for you guys to truly take in how physically imposing I am. So, whenever you guys are ready to start, let's do it. Guys, again.
He's hilarious. Watch this.
What do we got? You guys got anything going on? Just hanging out in an auditorium?
He's so little.
All right. Just gonna drag it out of me, huh?
God. The rumors were that he wasn't going to work in a state that doesn't have legalized recreational marijuana or cannabis. I'll get in trouble for calling it what the nerds don't want me to call it. He has been listed as a super genius in the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay tree. He worked for Mike Shanahan and the Washington football team. Has been the offensive coordinator for the 49ers since someone else left, I forget. So that means McVay, Shanahan, Zach Taylor, Mike McDonald, and kind of Brandon Staley, all from the McVay, Shanahan tree. Pretty exciting news for them. It is also important to note that Deadspin, this is the guy that Deadspin called the white guy. He is not white. He is multiracial, and this means there are now 1.5 black men as head football coaches, and not a completely white cycle, though almost a completely white coaching cycle. A couple teams left, Saints and Texans. The Texans were closing in on Josh McCown, who has never coached a game of football in his life where the people were getting paid to play, not in the NFL nor in college, LOL. But they said he's not going to be him. They've eliminated him as a prospect. They have also, apparently Brian Flores, the guy who's suing the NFL, is a finalist. I'm not sure how the NFL feels about that. Maybe they think that they can bribe him to drop the charges, or the suit, not charges, drop the suit by giving him a head coaching job. Or maybe they feel like giving him a head coaching job is just sticking a little iron in the fire that doesn't need to be there. And so it's reported late last night that Lovie Smith, the former head coach of the Bears and the Fighting Illini, and the current defensive coordinator of the Houston Texans, is the front runner to get the job. And apparently they're very close to making this happen, which is funny because he was the defensive coordinator and like the assistant head coach or something under David Culley. But then why the hell did you fire David Culley? Yeah, what a great organization, so they say.
At Pebble Beach.
So I have this, we're going to start doing something new, which is fun. I'm going to see how TikTok goes here. Jordan Spieth hit one past the out of bounds at Pebble Beach. And if you see the shot that he took, it's frightening. And this, like, he could have died if he had fallen down the cliff. So you see this on YouTube. Do we want to do audio? Sure, it's TikTok audio. Here we go.
Jordan Spieth's drive landed dangerously close to the edge of this cliff at Pebble Beach.
Unreal.
Go back to school teaching. Maybe we just take a drop here. And if that front left foot slips at all, this is
wow. I mean,
I'm gonna be nervous watching this.
70 feet straight down, and then he runs out of there. Look at the shot. Look at the shot. Look at the shot.
That was a smart move.
I'll be honest, I was watching him more than the ball.
Yeah.
It was by far the most nerve-wracking shot I've ever hit in my life.
That is crazy, and he should not have done that. How dumb. But it was cool for us. It was cool for us. I didn't mind watching that. Good for him. Did the TikTok thing work? I'm not sure. Let's go back to Twitter. At a celebrity golf event, Bill Murray hit one in from behind. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch. It was just hilarious. So he's got a vest on, and here he's going to walk up to the ball. He's looking off in the distance, and he just taps it in from behind. And, of course, he nailed it. Very Caddyshack moment from Bill Murray. Sports people love Bill Murray. One of the greatest women's college basketball games of all time was played last night, allegedly. Iowa and Michigan went into overtime. Michigan here in the fourth quarter is up by 13. They went to overtime. They're down by 13. Get out. Watch this shot, though. This is some Steph Curry shit from this woman.
She said, if I
Watch
had
this.
transferred earlier in my career, I wouldn't be having the time of my life right
Dude.
now. Holy smokes. She said, if I had
That's
transferred
NBA
earlier
range.
in
That's
my
beyond NBA range. That is like your coach gets mad at you or gets fired NBA range. That's crazy. All right, let's start to our Super Bowl gambling preview. We're going to start with QB props today because everybody loves QBs. We'll do some skill position props and defensive props later in the week. Then we'll take picks. Unless something crazy happens, there probably aren't going to be a bunch of different line movements. So let's just start with the quarterbacks. There's some guesses that are fun. The first quarterback, for example, to be intercepted. Most passing attempts, most completions, first quarterback to throw, first sack. So the one that I like is sacked first. So Matthew Stafford against the blitz is one of the greatest. This year, 2021, Matthew Stafford against the blitz is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. And certainly, I think statistically, the greatest quarterback against the blitz in NFL history is Stafford this year. Burrow gets sacked constantly. So we know that the Bengals are not going to blitz Stafford. That would be suicide. Or maybe they're going to and be cocky about it. And Burrow's offensive line is a joke. So Burrow is the heavy favorite to be sacked first. Matthew Stafford is plus 140, which isn't great because it's still 50-50, but usually props like this they'd be the same. They'd be the same odds. But Matthew Stafford pays out significantly better than Joe Burrow. And if Matthew Stafford's going to be sacked, which I'm sure that he's going to be, the speed rush and the interior pass rush of the Bengals, I think, is going to get there. He'll be sacked because of coverage. Now, if you remember how long Patrick Mahomes sat in the pocket against the Bengals, if Stafford does that, he's going to go down. He's not fast enough. He's not strong enough to get off the rush. So I love Matthew Stafford to be sacked first. That's on FanDuel. We're doing all this on FanDuel. We'll get into Bovada perhaps later in the week. So bring up our handy-dandy bet slip here. Interception to throw first, I think that is complete tomfoolery. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think that's going to happen. How many touchdowns will Matthew Stafford throw? A first quarter touchdown, second quarter touchdown, third quarter touchdown, fourth quarter touchdown. In my experience with Stafford, he is the best in the first and the fourth. I love him to score to throw a first quarter touchdown. Yes, it's plus 130. So Vegas disagrees. I think they're going to try to force the run, but I love him to throw a first quarter touchdown. Let's see here. These are all just fun stuff. Let's get to the passing props. So the over-under on yards for both of these guys are very similar. Burrow, 276.5. Stafford, 281.5. Super Bowls tend to be really strange. The only people that are ever really calm in them is Tom Brady. So you got to figure out exactly how these teams are going to be attacked. For me, Burrow in the under is the move. The only thing that worries me is I kind of think the Bengals are going to get their asses kicked, which puts Burrow in a position to pass. But should the game be close for any amount of time for the first 2 or 3 quarters, I think they're going to run the ball. Teams have had success running it down LA's throats, but the Bengals offensive line is such trash. I'm scared of the Burrow over-under. Stafford's easy. Stafford under. They're going to try to run the ball. McVay's going to get scared. He turtles up in big games. He just does. I love Stafford under the under. Under 281.5 passing touchdowns. Stafford is over under 2.5. Burrow is over under 1.5. I made money, huge money on that last week. That seems just easy peasy lemon squeezy to me. They're a really great screen team, and it's not that they're a great screen team. It's just their offensive line sucks so bad they look like checkdowns. So I mean, they scored a screen touchdown. It was like 40 yards or something. Samaje Perine. Pass attempts, I think, is a really interesting bet for the most part. 36.5 for both of them. That's a really interesting line. I can't decide how well researched that is, or if they're just kind of guessing. See what the interception props are. Joe Burrow to throw an interception is minus 130 and plus 100. Not to. Stafford no interception is plus 128. That's a lot of faith in the Bengals defense, and there's not going to be that much of a pass rush. They're going to have coverage sacks. That's a really good payout. Plus 128. I love that. So this is where we have quarterback props right now. We will take care of this. Maybe we'll make a YouTube show out of it this weekend. So quarterback props that I like right now. Result of Matthew Stafford's first pass is complete. I think that's just a fun one. Stafford to be sacked first. Stafford to throw a first quarter touchdown. Stafford under passing yards. Joe Burrow to throw 2 touchdowns. And Matthew Stafford not to throw an interception. Feel pretty confident about that. Yeah. So let's finish up with Jimbo Fisher. We covered this last week. But Jimbo is responding to these allegations. And I just love hearing him say sliced bread. Let's hear him say that one more time.
It pisses me off.
Yeah.
That people
tell
and
him.
Here it comes from a site called Bro Bible.
Bro Bible.
By a guy named Sliced Bread.
That's hilarious. So he's responding to everybody saying that they got 7 5-star recruits, and they don't usually do that, so they must have paid for them. They did. Duh. There's no $30 million fund, Jimbo, buddy. It's legal. It's fine. It's legal. Oh, man. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back and better than ever, and we're going to continue our Super Bowl week betting bonanza. I'm sure the Olympics are going to continue to be entertaining as well.